devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand, bang, got my hand. Call
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong, and I've been counting days to get away, to see you again. crashing down. All around this empty town, we're searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare, cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares through. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, then I start to see, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah. Yeah, I've discussed it with myself, and I'm disgusted with the way we're told to have a certain face. I stood and wait because we aren't pixels on a screen. No, we're human, we breathe. Every single thing we see curated, it's overrated. These expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to think, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah.
And we are live with week 4 of ECAC, but with a bit of a mix-up this week because we're going to see some varsity instead of JV today. And I'm excited, honestly. I mean, varsity has had they've had much steeper competition comparatively. So we should be seeing a bit more of a game than we've been seeing comparatively from JV. But I'm excited. Map 1, we're going to bind, and I think map 2 is Ascent. So I'm excited to see where this goes as we load in here. We're seeing ONU leaning a bit more towards the meta here with, they're using the Yoru, so that way they can obviously do some more mind games. And, I mean, Sky is just the old reliable pick when it comes to initiators. So, although we have been seeing a bit more usage in the Gecko, but I just don't think that ONU has quite explored that avenue yet. But, I mean, very, very similar comps, except the only difference is that, I mean, ONU obviously running the double duelist compared to the other team here, who we have double controller. I mean, very similar comps. And we're also seeing a Sage. And that's certainly an interesting pick. It's not super, super popular, but, I mean, it's interesting. That's for sure. And we will be getting the game rolling here momentarily. We're just having some slight technical difficulties. We should be good, though. There we go. We're seeing here both teams starting to roll out. Really, pretty standard pistol around here. I love this wall, though. You cover so much space. You can control all of showers. You can keep all of B site. It's really good for retake and just the hold. All in all, it's just one of my favorite walls to use. I'm glad we're seeing it early here. We can see here, though, ONU just kind of probing this space, spreading out across the map, ready to take this fight. Saf and Flames trying to take this initial contact. The counter flash to try and delay this fight. Bullets going both ways, but no kills for either side here quite yet. Flames is aware that they're tucked in the portal, but they pop out of the perfect time, managing to get 2. And I think that's going to be their cue to speed up this A take here. Is Kyle aware of this fight that's going to be taken on B? Not quite. The lurk up from the Brimstone going to take Kyle out of the fight early. And Z-Bag left alone in a 1 versus 5 here to start off this game. And I mean, I've seen Z-Bag pull off some miraculous stuff. So I've got high hopes for Mr. Bag here. The swing out, the dink, but not quite able to close out the kill onto Doodlev, and that will be the pistol round going the way of Simon Fraser. And I mean, we could see ONU just trying to just poke and prod at this, but I just don't think they were quite ready for the TP play. And then once they lost those 2 players by showers, I mean, the A control just slipped away from them, and Simon Fraser was able to just stroll right in. And it's looking like Simon Fraser is now leaning towards the B site here. Probably just going to go for an assertive take with their superior guns here. The jump spot from Kyle, not going to quite catch Brim. You'll elect to fall back towards the site, though. We're seeing here all these Simon Fraser players just leaning a bit more towards that B long space. The spams through the smoke, just try and catch someone out of position. The util being used, the flash is being thrown, and now the site to be taken. Doodlev flying over the top, and he's good for 3. And the numbers completely favoring Simon Fraser here, although it is an eco for ONU. Again, we're seeing the spams of the util being used. Saf left alone in the 1v5. Ooh. I mean, he brought Sky down to 1 HP. The shot's just not quite going his way, and a flawless round for Simon Fraser. And I mean, that's generally the ebb and flow of these games is you take the pistol, you buy up the next round, you take the next round. But these are the rounds now, especially if you're ONU, you want to be converting now that you have rifles, and they only have, you know, Spectres and maybe some abilities, but you can see here for the side of ONU, everyone's buying out big because they want to secure this round for them. And Simon Fraser leaning again towards the A site here, but they will have a fight on their hands with Saf, MP10s, and Flames all being here. The smokes to come through to try and delay the hit. Out comes the flash, the boombot catching no one as it goes towards the back site. Kyle, good for 1, starting off the round with a first blood for ONU. And the nade from MP10's gonna flush Doodlev, but the timing, he just misses Saf. The smoke goes down and Saf gets caught out of position. Doodlev in a bit of a bad spot here though. Kyle, good for 3 in the round. And he's looking for more. Mako, 33 HP, just creeping back towards showers to try and secure this bomb. Not quite able to. Z-Bag gonna find him with the Trailblazer, and Kyle he wants this 4K. Rips the wall temporarily. Molly comes out to try and flush out this player. Kyle waiting patiently in the corner for Mako to walk up. I mean, he knows he's got 30 seconds, and left. Kyle doesn't have to do anything. Mako's got to come to him. So, and Kyle to close out the round with a 4K, bringing us to a 1-2 score line. I think Kyle's cooking up some kind of a lineup here.
I didn't expose the lineup.
Oh, I mean, we got to cut away. That could be confidential. This could be some high-tech Radiant stuff we're seeing here. But again, we're throwing the same wall. He's mad consistent with it, so. And again, we are leaning towards the B side for the side of Simon Fraser. Just jump spotting this angle, just try and catch these players. Just barely missing them. And Kyle taking the 1 versus 2 right there, and the shot's not quite going his way. MP10's the same thing gonna happen to him with that Viper wall. Z-Bag good for 1. Is he aware of the second? The flash to come out. Flash is a little deep, and Sky's quick with the refrag. And again, we're seeing Simon Fraser leaning a bit more heavily towards this B site. The smokes to come down as they start this take. Out comes the raise nade and the slows. And Flames, a lot left to do on his shoulders. So much to clear, and Mako coming crashing down on him. And Saf, bit of deja vu. Saf with that Sheriff in hand, left in the 1v4. Not quite able to close it out, unfortunately, bringing us to a 1-3 scoreline. I will say, I think ONU does a bit better when we're being a little more assertive than we're seeing in this game. We're seeing a bit of timidity from them. I think after that first round, they weren't feeling super willing to extend on these angles, but I think an unconfident ONU is not necessarily the most successful way for them to play.
Safety's off.
And I think they're reading my mind, because we're leading 5 players towards the A site, and only 1, Kyle, left alone on B. Maybe an effort to just fully retake the B site. He's elected to fall back to Halls. Maybe lean towards that elbow space and just try and lock it down the best he can. Again, we're seeing both teams just kind of poke and prod at this space, just trying to catch someone out of position here. The nade from MP10's just to try and slow down this walkout, but Scorch is already through the site. MP10's getting whittled down to below half health. Thankfully, he has the Sky on his team to bring him back up.
Spike planted.
And Kyle with the Judge in hand, waiting for this smoke to fade to see if he can get a timing on someone. The wall to come back up, and MP10's, they get pain shelled off the angle. Saf, good for 1, but not quite enough for the second. The wall to slowly get whittled down. And Kyle gets robbed right there of his kill. The spread on the Judge just not quite going his way, bringing us to a 1-4 scoreline here. I mean, just a tragic turn of events. I mean, someone with lineups this good, he just give him 1 at least. Give him his 1. And again, we're seeing this 1-4 split here, leaning very heavily towards the A site. Bit of a risky play, especially when our retake has just not been super solid.
Prepare for hellfire.
And immediately we're seeing the orbital strike come out to the side of Simon Fraser here. And out comes the Raze Rocket 2, but Z-Bag to shut it down from within the smoke. Scorch using the Trailblazer to try and clear out that U-Haul space. MP10's gonna shut down that dog though. Scorch still just trying to find his 1 here, but gets whittled down. And these Simon Fraser players are very, very hurt. Just 1 bullet will take them out of the equation here. And there goes Scorch, and that means Mako will be staying at that health that he's at. There will be no healing coming in from him. The bomb is down, and it does look like they're playing some lineups here. Out comes the Yoru clone Dig, getting pushed even further back off this angle. He will be spotted by Saf. And Kyle just trying to get the bomb defused, but he gets picked right before he gets half. And unfortunately, Mako will clutch out the round for Simon Fraser. Bit of a Pyrrhic victory for them, losing all their rifles in the process, but that's not the round you want to see if you're rooting for ONU here. And we're seeing here, this is a pretty important round for ONU. You really want to be taking this round to kind of build your econ back up, because losing this round will allow Simon Fraser to kind of keep building up this econ. They probably have another bye after this, maybe 2. So you really just don't want to give them the chance to kind of snowball this momentum that they have. And we're seeing here a double flash setup from Flames and Z-Bag. They hear the dog coming. The first flash to get popped, the dog completely lost. The second flash comes out, but the spam coming through will take Flames out of the equation. Out comes the Boombot too, and Z-Bag getting flushed off the angle, brought down to 13 HP. And MP10's looking to get assertive with this space here. He wants to show them that he came here to play just as much as they did. We're seeing here, this is much better for the retake, for ONU at least. A lot more map space being taken, even though they do have the orb that has come down. Out comes the Seekers, just try and weed out these positions. The wall will go down, positions getting revealed. Emmytons will get caught in hookah though and taken out of the equation. And not a lot of time left for the defuse here. Saf and Z-Bag got a lot to do. Saf good for one. Mako ready and willing to refrag his teammate, though. And Z-Bag left alone in elbow. He's good for one, but Scorch quick to close out the kill and bring us to a 1-6 scoreline. I mean, honestly, yeah, very well played from Simon Fraser. They're not extending too far in this post plant. They're just kind of letting the space get taken, and they're playing very, very disciplined in the post, making sure their lineups are hitting. So, I mean, hopefully we'll see a bit of adaptation here for ONU. A bit of a change of pace, maybe. And a bit more of a spread out, almost default from Simon Fraser, but they're not taking a lot of space on the extremities here. Mostly just leaning towards the 2 mains. And Kyle taking the TP early here. Maybe just trying to play some mind games. Oh, never mind. He's going to rip the Viper's Pit. The ult to come down just to ensure that this shower space stays as ONU's. And Z-Bag catching the lurk in Mako. So the first blood going the way of ONU. The Trailblazer running through the shower to try and clear Kyle off this angle. And Scorch is aware of his position, but not quite enough info has been given to him to spam him. So I feel like if you're Simon Fraser, you definitely just want to be leaning towards this B site here. They've got nothing on A. I mean, granted, they also just lost a teammate by hookah. So, but that being said, Mako will be getting rezzed by Skies, and maybe now we'll be seeing a pivot back towards the A site. And that is what we're seeing here. A bit of a misread from ONU as they start rotating towards the B site. The smoke to come down to try and stall, but it might not be enough here. Oh my God, one good orbital strike from Saf could be huge here, though. Send the entire team absolutely packing off this space. And the fight's just being taken. 3 seconds left, and the bomb unable to get planted. And the round will go to ONU, even just with a stall. And Flames at the end just electing to stay alive. Not worth it to risk his life there. Not close enough to the ult for it to matter, so we're just gonna roll with what we got. And I think now we're seeing the adaptation from Simon Fraser is just going to be them like leaning a little more heavily towards this extremity. We're seeing Skies leaning towards this B long space. And one player over towards the shower. So that way we're all not just condensed towards the 2 main parts of the map. Scorch taking an early fight, managed to get the dink onto Kyle, bringing him down to 1 HP. But not quite enough to close out a kill for him. And the smoke to come through. Scorch just barely peeking over that angle. And he will elect to fall off the angle here. And just in case some viewers at home missed it, there was a fight that was taken over on B long, and Skies did unfortunately lose that fight. So it is looking like they're leaning towards this A space here. MP10's just looking for this fight with Scorch, trying to find that headshot. Unfortunately, he'll extend a little too far, and Doodle TV will punish him. Saf quick to try and trade out his teammate though, but Doodlev good for yet another onto Flames. The bomb to come down here.
Spike planted.
Right here.
And the nade gonna force Saf off his angle. And the molly just trying to find this pick on a Doodlev here, but he will fall back and join his teammates here. And for ONU, you need to get assertive here. We have 2 players who can play mollies from very, very far away. So you need to just start clearing out this space the best you can. And just try and get assertive as quickly as you can here. Out comes the orbital strike, just to try and delay the defuse. Saf, good for 3 in the round though. Dig, just launching both his mollies. Z-Bag just trying to stick through as best he can. Brought down to 1 HP. He will be getting picked off by Dig. And Kyle just barely making it out with his life. Dig still looking for more fights here, but he will give nothing from Kyle. And we're seeing here, like I said, I mean, if you don't get assertive with that space, these players will just hang back and let their mollies do the work. If you don't catch Dig back by his spot, like, it's going to be unfortunate when the bomb starts getting closer and closer to going off. We're seeing yet again for the side of ONU a 2-3 split here. 2 players B, 3 players on the A site. And Simon Fraser leaning entirely towards this long space, looking like they want to get assertive with it. They don't even want to mess with Hookah. They're just going to let the space be taken. Flames with the frenzy in hand and a lot to do now as they begin to take the site. And Sky's going to wall himself up here onto Shed.
Spike planted.
Flames seems to be cognizant of it, though. As the smoke fades, Flames is good for it. Unfortunately, Scorch quick to trade out his teammates, leaving us at a 3-3, the numbers being equalized. And ONU at a bit of a gun disadvantage here. The fights need to be taken.
Last player standing.
And the shot's just not quite going the way of ONU, bringing us to a 2-8 scoreline. And for the side of Simon Fraser, we're seeing a level of coordination that's not quite translating to ONU. They're very quick with the refrags. They're staying really buddied up, and we're seeing a lot of distance between these ONU players generally, and it makes it really difficult for them to kind of play off each other when they're playing so spaced out. So hopefully we see them kind of buddy up a little bit more, and maybe a little bit more team play might be added to the equation here. Scorched will be finding an early pick on the Sap, but Flames and MP10's quick to avenge their teammate. The Util coming out to try and flush out these players even further. The flash from Flames going to catch Mako off guard. And another pick will go the way of Flames.
1 enemy remaining.
Kyle lurking up the flank will catch Skies out of position. And like I said earlier, ONU, when they get assertive on these rounds, they look good.
Before the switch.
And so we love to see that confidence out of them coming out late.
There. There. There.
And in terms of the ult economy here, it's not looking great for ONU with just the dimensional drift here, as opposed to the Seekers, the Raze Rocket, and the Viper's Pit. But we'll see what ONU can do here. And yet again, Simon Fraser leaning towards this B long space.
I've got your trail.
And MP10's gonna get forced off the angle, leaving Flames and Z-Bag alone on this space. Flames good for 1, but not quite in time to take out Or not quite in time enough to save his life there, unfortunately. And the site will go the way of Simon Fraser here, and the Viper's Pit will come out.
You will not kill
And so will the res onto Dudulev. Kyle finding an early pick on a Scourge. Not quite reading that Dig will be on top of the site here. Dig to get picked off, though.
One enemy
And
remaining.
Saf dodging the boom bot, but not quite enough to dodge Skies. And MP10's quick to clean up, though, bringing us to an 8-4 half. And for ONU, 4 rounds down ain't that bad, because with a double duelist setup like this, you expect attack to be your better half here,
Switching
especially
sides.
with one initiator, or not one controller, sorry. So they do have a lot to push into, pushing into the double controller setup plus a Sage, but I think if they play this right, they play off each other here, I think ONU could potentially bring themselves back into this. And again, we're seeing that 2-3 setup here from Simon Fraser. I mean, tried and true, leaving their Sage and their Viper over on the B site, just try and lock down that space. I mean, these are the 2 agents on their team who are probably the best at holding off an entire push. But ONU seems to be cognizant of this, and we're leaning towards the A side early. The smoke to come out early from Mako, just trying to delay this hit. The Molly also coming in. Util being thrown both ways. Dudulev will be taking out Z-Bag in the process. And the Molly from Kyle just trying to find something, anything. The walkthrough from Dudulev will be, oh my gosh, Mitchell just barely managing to save Kyle. The timing almost not working out in his favor, but it just barely does.
Enemy remaining.
And ONU electing to hit the TP lane, knowing that this last player is over on A site. And it's just a foot race now. And unfortunately for Simon Fraser, ONU will make it to the site first. Kyle holding a close angle on this door. The spray's coming through, and MP10s is just scooping up these kills. He is not sharing today. And I mean, thankfully he was a little greedy earlier, because otherwise that would have been the life of his teammate just gone. But MP10s is heating up here in the second half. Maybe he just needed a bit of a warm-up here in that first half, but he's cooking now, so. And we may have a bit of a fight on our hands with all of these players for Simon Fraser leaning towards the A site, holding some ratty angles here inside the tube with a shorty. And we're seeing ONU just being diligent, making sure to clear the space. All these players leaning towards the inside of tube. The first kill will go the way of ONU, but can they read this? All 4 of these players in the tube, and they cannot, and that will be a gun donated to them, but thankfully MP10 and Saf quick to trade out their teammate, and Scourge left alone. The rat play just not quite working out in his favor. 21 HP and 6 bullets left. He's good for 1. 3 bullets electing for the reload here, but Kyle quick to clean him up. I was looking a little dicey for ONU, but some diligent refrags there from MP10s and Saf, equalizing the numbers and bringing us to a 6-8. And I mean, we're seeing a level of coordination, like the coordination from Simon Fraser. I mean, it works out sometimes, but in rounds like that, you're banking a lot on the entire team just following after Flames there. And if they don't do it, they just take that fight from a distance, and your shorties buy you nothing. This guy's electing to just rip the wall in hookah, just completely lock down this space, not let anyone in. ONU will be leaning a bit more towards the A site here. The wall to get pushed up. So that way the space can be taken. And Saf, I mean, we're seeing a bit of a brim diff here between Saf and Mako, especially just in this round. But Saf will be winning the 1v1 here. And Saf holding on to that bomb. We're just holding on to this U-Haul space. I'm not sure if he's aware that he has the bomb, but we're just hanging out. Okay, the smoke's to go down. Okay, we are aware that we have the bomb. We're making our way towards default here, and the bomb will be planted.
Spike planted.
And down goes the bomb. And we're seeing here from Simon Fraser, all these players starting to clump up at the back of the site. Paint shells through, just trying to clear the space. Sky's not quite ready for Saf, swinging through the paint shells to take him out. Doodlev good for one on MP10. Z-Bag just trying to refrag his teammate. Dig and Doodlev left alone here. And we're seeing the inverse of what we saw on the other half here, with Kyle playing lineups from all the way back almost in the spawn area. And Doodlev and Dig electing to save. Just try and take these rifles into the next round with them. And the other two will just have to respect that choice. Kyle will fall to the bomb with 2 rifles being safe for both sides here. And for Simon Fraser, that's kind of devastating for your econ. Just not quite able to close out the Pixie one. And we can see here, I mean, the 2 rifles we saved here for Doodlev and Dig, very useful still, but the rest of the team doesn't have much of a buy. They're forced onto sheriffs without even shields, so I mean, they don't have much here, so they're gonna have to get kind of scrappy, and it's looking like they want to fight showers for the A players here for Simon Fraser. Trying to get assertive with this space, and Kyle holding diligently here with the outlaw in hand, just waiting for the overextension. And the shots coming out, but not quite connecting with their mark here. Flames good for 1 on the long angle, though. All the way over on B long. He's good for 2, and Saf good for yet another. They're just trying to flood through the TP and catch MP10s, and Mako finally manages to close him out, but he's left with 21 HP, and he's trapped in this portal now. Sky completely schlumped in the doorway here. The molly's coming through just to try and catch Mako out of position. The body, I think, is just keeping the door open. I'm pretty sure that door can't close because of his teammate's body. And Mako to get picked off by Flames, who's good for 3 in the round. Body wouldn't let it close, if that ain't the truth. They're talking about it in chat now. That's crazy. I didn't even know that was possible. He died in such a way that the door just would not shut.
Right here.
But now we're seeing Simon Fraser back on a full buy and ONU leaning towards the B site here. And I mean, they have a lot of util that they have to chew their way through here, but I mean, less players overall. But it seems like the three defenders over here on A site are also aware of this. Ooh, and Flames trying to dance his way around the molly, not quite able to, and the weekend will be taking him out. And in comes the rotation for the rest of the Simon Fraser players. And we're seeing here just a bit of prodding from both sides here. Saf trying to find one out of position. He will find it onto Doodlev. And that's a pretty big pick for ONU. The top frag for them now out of the equation, and up comes the wall to try and stop this line of sight. They don't want any more picks to go the way of ONU. And if you keep your eye on the mini-map here, you can see Kyle and MP10s taking this A space, just trying to diligently clear it here. He's going to have to get Mako, and Mako will get picked off. A bit of a fake play here. They wanted to fake some A controls, so that way they can take this B space. Through the portal they go, and the bomb will get planted onto B.
30 seconds left.
And the bomb to get planted by Saf here, and Scourge left alone in the 1v4 here. A lot left to do, and I don't know, he might just elect to save, but maybe he's feeling brave. Who knows? The flash coming through, connecting with not enough people as 4 spams come in, and Scourge gets taken out, bringing us to a 9-8 scoreline. And can I just say, we started at an 8-4 half here, because we're seeing that double duelist play style finally come to fruition for ONU, because they can get really, really assertive all over the map and just kind of dictate the pace as they want. And we're seeing a bit of a 2-3 split for ONU here, leaning a bit more towards the extremities, while still maintaining a bit of main control here. Simon Fraser just trying to take some early fights on this eco round for them, but Kyle to take the first blood. Out come the Seekers just to try and get these defenders out of position, and Kyle will be chasing down that Seeker as it takes Mako out of his position. In comes the Molly, just kind of keep that space for him. And MB10 seems to be cognizant of the fact that these two hookah players were getting a little antsy. They were trying to fight him early, and now he's going to have a bit of a fight on his hands. He's good for the first. He turns away. The second one not quite able to close out the pick. And Sky's now left alone in the 1v4. The spam through, and MP10's running it down onto Skies, who just has a sheriff in hand, and he will get the pick. Just a complete run and gun from MP10's. I mean, he wants to show a bit of disrespect, but we're not seeing a lot of adaptation here for the side of Simon Fraser. Not like they're sticking very, very close to what we've seen them do in the past. Oh, as I say that, though, Scorch will now be leaning a bit more towards the B site, but that will weaken their A-hold a lot. Just not having that one player there ready to take these fights with them could hurt their odds of holding down this space. And in comes Flames to just try and find these players. He's located two, and out comes the Raise Rocket. And Mako will get taken out in the meantime. ONU now left in a 5v4 situation here. The bomb will get tapped. Just try and bait out some further util here. Doodlev not quite managing to catch the planter, just barely. The kills going entirely the way of ONU except for one. And Dig now left alone in a 1v4. Out comes the Trailblazer just to try and find Dig in his position. The dog just barely not getting the stun somehow. In comes the flash. Dig to get fully blinded. And ONU they want him to walk into this. Yep. They don't want to feed him his ones. So Flames closing out the round on Dig. A very, very well-disciplined round from ONU right there. And we're seeing yet again for the side of Simon Fraser, they have been forced yet again onto an eco round. And we're seeing a bit more adaptation now as they lean two players towards the B site, but the majority of these players for ONU are also now leaning B. So, or sorry, they're leaning A, but again, just poking at this space. Simon Fraser just wanting to take these close fights if possible. Dig catching the barrel of Flames and ripping the orb. MB10's quick to trade out his teammate, though. And a bit of a tempo reset now for ONU as they just kind of figure out, okay, what happened? What do we do? How do we adapt? Sky's holding a close angle with the judge. He wants someone to overextend and push into this U-Haul space. Give him this close fight, and he can get a free upgrade. And ONU now electing to hit the A site. Have a lot to clear still. With Doodle and Skies still holding down this space. And down comes the orbital strike, and Saf will get taken out in the process. Kyle, however, electing to fall off and to play his lineups here. Mako seems to be cognizant of this fact, though. And the timing won't work out for Kyle here if he stops walking. And it looks like he has Unfortunately, Mako has found a pick on a Z-bag, so Kyle has enough time to turn around. He's good for 1. Make that 2. Not quite able to close out that very last one, and Skies getting the res on the Scorch. Dudalev managing to get the pick. An unfortunate loss right there for ONU. Kyle almost good for 3 right there. Bringing us to an 11-9, the first round that we've seen Simon Fraser win in this half. And even still, I mean, their econ's in a bit of a touchy spot still. Granted, I mean, it's enough now they can get guns, they can buy up big. And we're seeing ONU now, yet again, leaning towards this B site. Knowing that it's been a bit weaker for them. The Vipers pit to come out for the side of Simon Fraser into showers. Both sides just kind of dancing around this main space. MB10's trying to take this fight with Skies, and Skies electing to fall back to site. Saf catching Scorch out of position, but not quite ready enough to close out a kill. And Flames looking like he wants to fake some contact here. Maybe pull a bit of a rotate, get these hookah players out of position. So many walls in his face right here. He sends in the clone. Sky's just holding close with a shotgun. Isn't going to take the bait. Mako managing to find a pick onto Kyle, though. MB10's ready and willing to clean up, though, and trade out his teammate. The dig on the Flames. Mako going to be good for 3 in this round. That buys him so much space. He gets all the hookah space for free right there. And that just allows his teammate to TP in. And now they can aggress from Molly, or from now they can Molly from both hookah and long and CT with a three different angles that they can crunch in from here. C-Bag needs to be ready for this 1v1. Not quite. Saf with a lot left to do, left in the 1v4, is back to Dig, and Dig ready to take him out. And that's going to take us to an 11-10. And Simon Fraser just trying to turn the tide of this game here.
Pay attention. Might learn something.
Now they've got 2 rounds under their belt here. And this is a round that if you're ONU, you do not want to slip away from you. The econ will already be looking a little shaky this round, but this one slips away from you, it might be a bit devastating for the game. Mako is just absolutely shanking this wall. The birdie get popped on long. MB10s will be spotted, and the fight will be taken. MB10's electing to fall off a little bit. He can't aggro too far forward here. Mako being forced to the TP. Scorch ready for the swing out, though. But Saf, good for 2. And Skies, just a shotgun warrior, pulls out the Vandal at the last second as the smoke goes down.
Spike planted.
And Mako coming through the TP here, electing to try and wrap around a main. Scorch with that operator still in hand, just trying to catch a player out of position, but the Viper's pit won't buy him much in terms of space. Out comes the flash. The flash will let him know that there are some players in the vicinity. Not quite anticipating the position of Flames. Flames taking Scorch out of the equation, and that's an op loss for Simon Fraser here. And Mako electing to save his rifle because Econ's already not looking great for them, and this will take us to match point for ONU, who is running down Mako. They want him gone here. He comes through the TP, and Saf right next to him wants him to run out, not quite given the opportunity. And we're at match point here. Rifles to be bought on both sides, but it just comes down to how diligently ONU can clear out these players. Because we've seen ONU, even on a bit of a numbers disadvantage, convert some of these rounds in their favor. So it just comes down to how clean they are here. And it's looking like they want to get assertive here on this A main space early. Scorch to take out Z-Bag early, though. And MP10s and Kyle here still just poking and prodding at this space, just try and find an in. ONU seems to do their best work when they kind of get a pick and they can cascade off of it. Because one pick for them really quickly turns into two, two turns into three, and then sometimes the round for them. So they're just trying to catch one of these players just a little bit out of position. So that way they can secure these rounds. Flames getting us started early, but Doodlev trying to trade out his teammate. Saf rushing through the snake bite just to lock down and secure this space. Flames try to do the same, and all four of the players from Simon Fraser will be taking position towards back sight in heaven here.
Spike planted.
And Kyle trying to be diligent, making sure if he's going to play his lineup that he's not going to get caught out of position. Truman getting lit up, but not enough to take him out of the equation. Dig managing to get the snakebite kill onto Flames. Out comes the mollies for the side of ONU. Kyle needs to get into position, though, because the bomb's already halved. Out comes the orbital strike. Both mollies already in flight, though. Kyle good for one. There's a chance that Kyle will close out the game with a 3K.
Attackers win.
Clean shots from Kyle and a 13-10 victory for ONU. That was looking a little dicey there towards the end, but Kyle was quick with the cleanup there. Very, very well played from ONU there at the end. And, I mean, if we look at the scoreboard, we're seeing a very, very well spread out board here. With, I mean, everyone carrying their own weight here. A lot of first bloods and plants for the side of ONU. I mean, Saf, 7 plants to his name. Highest in the lobby, and I mean, Flames and MP10s, their impact on the map cannot be understated with 4 first bloods and 3 first bloods from Z-Bag. But we will take a very, very quick break, and we will be back with map 2, which will be Ascent very soon.
Storm's coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
There we go. And we are back with map 2 on Ascent. And I mean, not much to write home about for the two comps. We're seeing two meta comps from both ONU and the side of the opponents here, whose names I might have just conveniently forgot. But, I mean, pretty standard comps. Again, we're seeing the double duelist with Flames and MP10s both running a duelist here. And I love MP10s on the Phoenix. He just gets so aggressive around the map, and he's so assertive with the space. It's so much fun to watch. I mean, just in general, but like I said, two pretty standard comps here, and it's looking like for the side of, was it Simon Fraser? Simon Fraser, that's what it was. They're leaning a bit more heavily towards the A site here, letting the KJ util and their Jet player Doodles kind of just lock it down. And Flames finally logging on here right at the end. And Kyle just absolutely overwatching the site from over here, locking down this angle by TPing up top of this box. Just a disgusting angle being taken. I think he's the one who one-wayed that. So, I mean, that one-way works out perfectly for him. So, the turret to take the first contact of the game. And Doodlev managed to get the first pick on the Saf. MP10's trying to trade his teammate, but Sky is quick to fight back right here. But ONU managing to secure the site at least. We're seeing the lurk from Kyle here. He wants to wrap this mid-space late, but his timing needs to be really, really good here if he wants to be impactful. Are they aware of this? They turn around. 3 players taking this fight with Kyle, and Kyle getting taken out of the equation, leaving Flames and Z-Bag alone at the end here. Z-Bag getting fully blinded, and Sky is good for 4 in the round, and the pistol going the way of Simon Fraser. And I mean, not what you want to see if you're an ONU fan. I mean, 3 players turning around on Kyle right there is a bit devastating for them. It might have been that Dig heard him loud running down mid and calmed it to his team to turn around, and they fought him, just try and isolate the one. But either way, an unfortunate scenario for ONU. Big fan of the skin usage though here. I mean, Avalanche, it's simple, but it's classic from Mako here.
Cover going out.
Very clean. He's gonna insert himself into wine here. He's really big on stabbing these walls, let me just say. Mako just has some kind of vendetta with them. Flames trying to sneak in through the smoke, but does get spammed down from Skies, who's just going to be denying the space for ONU. The molly to come down to try and delay progress even further, and he's good for 2. Yet another kill through the smoke. He's denying all of the space from ONU. If they want to take B, they're going to have to pry it out of Sky's hands here.
Swarm grenade.
I mean, he threw that molly just to try and deny the plant, but ONU just wants nothing to do with it. They're giving him that space, letting him walk away. And Kyle just chilling in mid-market with that shorty in hand. I mean, if Scorch walks up here, that's a big upgrade from Kyle.
30 seconds left.
It does just come down to the timing, though. The orb to be grabbed for MP10's bringing him just one step closer to that ult. And this timing from Kyle could still be pivotal here. If he manages to catch Doodlev here, that's a huge upgrade from Kyle, and he rushes in, manages to get himself an outlaw. 10 seconds left on the clock, though. The bomb needs to go down for ONU. And the shot not quite connecting the Lear.
That's unlucky.
Just getting in his way. And a co-caster appearing out of nowhere.
Did he hit him through the Lear?
I don't think so. I think the shot went a little bit to the left. I think the Lear just
Oh, he hit the
wasn't
second
able to-
shot though, no.
wasn't able to correct. Yeah, he hit the second, but not the first.
That's unlucky.
And a sudden appearance from the JV team.
What is this, map 2?
This is map 2. Oh,
What are
we
we-
took,
how
we
are we
took map
looking?
1. We're up 1.
Yeah, we kind of swept, so.
Glad to hear it. I was gonna say, I mean, during the break, I was in there. It was 8-0, and he did not come in much later after that.
It was a 13-1 finish.
13-1 finish. Big score line from you guys. Make sure to get your scores submitted for that.
Looking like they want to hit B here.
Kyle electing to just not fight these A main players here.
I like that.
ONU leaning really heavily towards B.
He knows that they have the A main space. He knows there's 2 people there.
MB10's getting that ult online, electing to just rush in. He needs to take this fight to Skies, man. Skies has had this site locked down.
Oh.
And he knows it, and
Unlucky.
not quite able to find anyone there.
Looks like they will take the site, though. And there's not much util in the way.
The firewall just to try and get his teammates in safely. MB10's trying to work his way up. The flash coming through, though.
Looks like a fast retake here.
The molly onto Doodle level, take him out of the equation. And MB10's just fleeing for his life there. The spam's coming through for the side of Simon Fraser. They are just flying through this space. They're getting really assertive here. Trying to take this fight. The late lurk from Kyle.
The trades are good.
Last player standing.
Oh.
One
Scorch
enemy remaining.
catching Z-Bag out of position.
It's just Kyle.
And Kyle playing with his food here. The smoke coming down. And Kyle still
will
playing
win
with
the
his
round
food. He's
here.
gonna take the round. He wants the pick too, and he manages to get it.
But I just realized if Kyle's playing here, who's not playing?
JB.
Oh, okay.
It was his birthday, so his family's taking him out to a nice dinner.
He didn't want to play Valorant on his birthday. That's odd.
But I will say happy birthday to Mr. Secrets. I mean, a well-deserved break.
Yeah. Looking like ONU starting out more spread of a default. Still leaning. Oh, looks like they're starting to lean towards A.
Looks like
And no
looks like
KOs,
Kyle. He wanted
interesting.
some friends for this A main take here. He was tired of working the space alone.
Actually, looks like they're gonna collapse on mid here. He's got the flash ready for Cat.
In comes the flash, not quite connecting with Scorch. The fight to be taken in flames. The shot's not quite going his way.
Looking for the trade, the KO molly to stall.
And Mako,
ONU still
In
looks like they
line
want to
here.
take this here.
a flash coming through. Not going to be capitalized there for Scorch, but Mako will find the pick onto Kyle from Wine. Z-Bag good
with
for
a
2.
2K.
Z-Bag my king, bro.
Do they expect a third? Oh, doesn't matter.
My glorious goat Z-Bag.
Looks
Bomb
like
will
Jet
go
wants
down
to take
for
a fight
ONU.
here.
Here
he
comes the
gonna find
molly.
one?
Forcing Jet to take a bit of a
Ooh.
deeper angle.
Let's
Down
get
goes
Z-Bag,
my
gets
glorious
traded.
king Z-Bag, but he will be traded by Saf. And
Skies is
this guy's now burning through the wall, knowing that these players have been forced all the way back to Wine. Will tap the bomb.
Enemy remaining.
And the shots go Skies' way. Skies has been absolutely pivotal for this team.
wow.
Clutch.
It was really good control on the spray there. It does reset it to get both.
Ice cold in the clutch from Sky.
Wow.
And I mean, Sky's been putting up numbers this game. Can we get the scoreboard up for this guy? I mean, 10-1.
Wow.
We are 4 rounds in, and he is 10-1 right now on the Killjoy. And he's got a crazy lineup there too for that molly.
Time for a field test. Placing the sentry.
And ONU being forced down to an eco here. Sheriff's in hand all around here for the entire team.
Looks like they're gonna work this mid space pretty quick. Kyle all the way up through bot mid, flashing market. Looks
The
like they want
flash
to take
coming
market.
through.
I think they're going for a B crunch here.
Kyle
Kyle
seems to
going
be
further.
cognizant of the fact that Skies
Ooh.
and Jet, they like to lurk in the CT space here. This is where they like to fight from. And maybe he's trying to catch a timing on them. Maybe not. He's electing to fall off now.
ONU out B now.
Flames has a lot of space here. Position of Skies will be given away, and Z-Bag good for
Good for
Good
2.
for 2. Skies getting taken out of the
Look,
equation.
Kyle is still planted there. I don't think they know. This is a great position for Kyle to be in. Does he clear it?
Does he
One
get cleared
enemy
out?
remaining.
MP10's
Doesn't even
good
matter.
for 2, and Mako making his way to the flank here. The turret is down, so ONU will not be given this information, but they have all the CT space and the mid space, so Kyle seems to have a pretty good idea of where Mako might be.
Cover going out.
In comes the smoke. Just in time to give Mako a bit of cover. Oh my, Kyle, okay. I was like, if Kyle gets that kill, I think we win the game. I don't know, but
Wow.
That's Radiant gameplay.
I mean, that's my Radiant coach right there.
Radiant go.
I wouldn't have done it any different.
I mean, imagine how devastating for Mako's morale that is if you get 360'd off of someone else's gun. Like,
On the reload.
oh yeah, on the reload, if you lose that fight, like, it is devastating for morale. I don't think mentally you're coming back from that. Not in this game. I mean, Sky's the absolute raid boss, still just locking down this B main space, and it's looking like he wants to take an early fight here.
I know he has Z-Bag.
That's true. I mean, it's Skies versus Z-Bag, the two raid bosses against each other.
They're all the way through B main. We might get a B main fight here. Oh.
Kyle and Flames electing to fall off the angle here. We're seeing a lot of aggression on both sides here. They've stormed through both mains.
I think they know.
I mean, surely they have to by now. Wait, this late hit from Kyle.
Oh my, they're
And
turning around to fight
MP10's
it.
holding the angle too. Z-Bag knows there's no one in heaven. Flame's good for one. And he knows that there's at least one more here. Managing to catch
Wow.
Skies. He's good for two.
Wow.
And a flawless round for ONU. That was clinical from them.
So well played. Looks like
They were so diligent with that space.
it honestly
I mean,
looked like Kyle was planning that from the start. The pinch back into their own spawn.
I mean, knowing Kyle, like, there's a good chance that he had that entire round planned out like that. He's like, yeah, we know we forced them onto an eco. They're probably going to try to extend somewhere. Let's figure out where, and then let's crunch them, and then worked out in their favor. We're seeing here yet again that 1-1-3 split to the side of Simon Fraser, and Flames showing them no respect, just dashing through mid. He wants to get assertive and take this space from them. But he will need to be diligent in clearing out Doodlev, otherwise things could get a little risky for him. Scorch caught out of position by Kyle. And the turret catching Flames at the wrong moment. He's just dancing around that turret. And the door will be shut.
ONU has
And the
space
bomb will go
everywhere
down
here.
on A site. And Dig needs to clear out Flames.
Ooh.
And Flames good for one.
Doodlove does get Kyle on Cat there. But a 2v3 retake is still a grim look for him.
Especially with just how much of the A site ONU already has locked down.
I
They
think
have
it's
so much to clear between these two players. They have a lot left to do in this round.
Yeah.
And not a lot of time to do it.
Last player
Doodlev not
standing.
quite being diligent enough in clearing out Saf. And Saf good for two, cleaning them
Beautiful.
up and taking us to a 4-3 scoreline.
Everyone makes fun of German efficiency. Ha ha. Just keep laughing as you use all my gear.
And I mean, yet again, Sky's the raid boss here. I think he might try and get a little assertive here, hopefully. I mean, I love to see the confidence out of Skies because we weren't seeing him being super assertive last game. I think he was on the Sage on Bind, so he wasn't being super assertive. So it's been really fun to see him kind of expand his horizons a little bit this game.
Looking like a 5-man A hit here from ONU. Ooh, a
And
great
Flames
dart.
ready for that spam. The flash coming through, connecting with him, but Flames completely undeterred.
Oh.
Diggs just barely living, but Saf quick to trade out his teammate. The spams for Scorch just not quite going his way, and Kyle taking out Doodlev in the process. Down goes the KJ lockdown, and in comes the Sova drone.
Last player standing.
Z-Bag spamming down Scorch, and Sky's running for his life. MP10's with the double flash for the extra BM, looking him in the eyes as the flash goes away as he takes him out of the equation. A little bit of disrespect from MP10's is what we like to see, though.
It was almost like he was mocking him the way he was running.
I mean, he's got to do it for the mental damage, you know. It's all about the mental, and I mean, MP10's, if he's good at nothing else, and he's good at a lot, if he's good at nothing else, it's got to be the BM. Like, I mean, against everyone generally, so.
It's good.
And Simon Fraser getting a little more assertive here on the same main space, trying to lock it down. The shot's just not quite going the way of Doodlev. MP10's managing to clean him up here for the first blood of the round.
Looks like Truman going for another fight mid.
Yeah.
And he will be.
Ooh, Scorch
he will
is good
spot
for
Scorch,
it.
but Scorch is quick with these headshots.
Just
The
Skies on
dart
the B
will be
side.
catching Skies out of position, though. And he will get taken out by Saf. Mako TPing in a boathouse, though. They need to be ready for this. Saf is, though. And Scorch headbanging over here.
For the ace clutch.
Ooh, he is clean with that headshot,
Oh, you see
though.
ONU grouping up, though. They're going for this.
MP10's wants this.
Oh, never mind.
He wants
Just
this
Mitchell.
pick.
Just Mitchell.
Mitchell wants this fight. He's hungry for it. Out comes the flame wall to try and get him a little bit more space. That way Scorch is just a little bit more worried about his position. I mean, MP10's is just well aware of where he's at now. He's just playing patient, running down the clock. Not trying to give him these exit frags.
Ooh, good thing Z-Bag is there to
Yeah,
back him up.
thankfully for MP10's, he's got his teammate there.
We don't talk about it.
I mean, it's a rare MP whiff, you know. It's a we don't see him very often, but I mean, good team play always pays off for him. So. And I mean, 6-3, especially on a more defender-sided map, is what you want to see early. But I mean, preferably for ONU, they bring this up to a 9-3. But we'll just have to see here. A bit of an adaptation for Simon Fraser as they take this fight out from tree and main. The fight's not going their way at all, though, as they get completely shut out on both angles. And Dig now left alone in the 1v5. They seem to be aware of his position. Kyle TPing away after Flames gets picked. And by TPing away, he TP's behind him, goes for the knife.
Kyle.
Just barely not killing Dig. But still Dig left with a lot left to do. Out comes the Molly, and the Molly will take out Dig, bringing us to a 7-3 scoreline.
They're just, every round, they somehow find a way to top the disrespect from the previous round. It's,
Yeah, it's
honestly
like,
impressive.
It's crazy how they managed to stay so disrespectful while still maintaining their momentum that they picked up here.
I guess the eco is just so good that they don't mind throwing a few vandals at him.
I don't think Kyle cares about the eco. He's at 0 creds. The eco means absolutely nothing to Kyle right now. It's about the message. It is not about the money.
It's about the message.
And Doodlev taking this fight yet again. Maybe a bit of PTSD kicking in, though, because he just cannot land the shots on MP10.
Looks like Zach getting a Sova ult. Try to clear out some B space. I'm not even sure if they want to head B, though. They have
they
the
have
entire
all the
other
A
side of
space.
the map.
They just should be leaning towards A here. The rotation coming in from Dig.
Yeah.
But does he anticipate 2 here? He's good for the first. In comes the flash. Kyle running for the hills. Breaking.
Ooh, not ready for it. It's a 2v3 retake here. They do have 2 very big ults on the board.
But are they ready for this lurk from Saf here? Because it's looking like they might have 2 players leaning
Mitchell.
towards the tree space. Leighton Mitchell is in a perfect position.
He's not ready to
get rid
trade.
of this KJ lockdown, and down it goes.
Wow.
And Dig left alone yet again. The world on his shoulders. The flash coming in. He's just trying to take some fights here, but Z-Bag waiting very patiently for him on Gen. And ready to take him out.
In the half.
It's almost like they're not quite aware of just how much space ONU's been taking. Even though they've been giving it, I'm just not sure that they expect ONU to realize that as fast as they have.
Surely we're seeing a request from Kyle. Okay, yeah. I was like, our team's like max creds, and Kyle's sitting there with heavy shields and nothing else.
Only one ult on the board for the defenders. It is a pretty good ult with the Fade ult, but...
And can I just say, I think I might have caster cursed Skies a little bit here. He's cooled off hard. Only getting 3 kills since we talked about him last.
Oh, Doodle V's ready now. Is he? Oh,
It seems like he's ready. The spam's coming through, just not quite
he
going
keeps
the way
going.
of ONU.
Wow.
MP10's finally taking him out of the equation. Looking for more, but just not quite capitalizing on it.
Kyle left in the 1v3.
He does have the from the shadows, though. Exactly what he needs to pick up that bomb. If he can dodge that Fade Dog, that's a lot of space for him. Oh, the pick that he needs right there, though, just not quite going his way. I don't think he's ready for this lurk.
Oh, well played from the defenders there.
I mean, very, very diligent. And a good shotgun play from Doodle V there. But we will now be switching sides. An 8-4 half ain't too shabby, especially for a more defender-sided map.
I think you could honestly argue this is one of the most defender-sided maps in the game. A lot of people are happy with just getting 3 on attack, so 8 is just honestly massive.
But, I mean, we do also need to talk about the comms.
It is
because
an attack-sided comp, I will say that.
Yeah, ONU does have a very attacker-sided comp running the double duelist over something like double init or double controller like we're seeing, or double initiator like we see from Simon Fraser. That's the name of the school. But it just will not stick in my brain.
Kyle happy to jiggle, does hear the jump. We'll see Scorch.
Alexa just not take the fight. MP10's, he's a little hungry though. He wants to take this fight.
Ooh, they're getting split on fast.
The flash to come through. And Kyle, that's in a bit of a bad spot here.
Ooh, and all of a sudden, Z-Bag left in the 1v5 clutch scenario.
Can I just say, I mean, ONU has not been looking too sharp on these pistol rounds. I don't think we've secured one yet.
I haven't seen any others, but I'll take your word for it.
I mean, you're seeing how they've been looking.
Honestly, it just feels like they're confident enough with their rifles that they're fine with giving a few rounds.
A flawless round here from Simon Fraser. I mean,
a good cat split there.
I wonder. No, I don't think ONU's feeling that bold to force up round 2.
No, I don't see the point.
I mean, Saf clearly does though.
Well,
he wants to show Skies that there may be a bit of a differential here when it comes to the killjoys.
When you have that sheriff, there's really nothing you can't do.
Yeah, Kuronami sheriff in hand. I mean, the world is just your
Looks like a 5-man B hit here. Is Sam ready for it? He is not.
He is unfortunately not. Managed to connect a singular shot before he gets taken out, and
ONU moving
Side
as a
control
pack
will
here.
just fall completely the way of Simon Fraser.
Looks like Kyle's smoking to Caterpillar through all the way to stairs if he wants to. And Sherman taking the space. Dashing to logs.
Oh, and Sky's just barely making it out with his life. Managed to get 2 right there.
They all bought shorties.
I think the team might be memeing a little bit.
Was that 3 shorties on the round?
I think it might have been. Yeah, it was 3 shorties, a sheriff, and a classic.
Do they expect Z-Bag? Oh, unlucky
expect
for
him or
ONU.
no? I mean, that's another flawless round right there for Simon Fraser. Thankfully, it'll be no pistols converted except for maybe the Kuronami sheriff, because I mean, I don't think they necessarily want those shorties.
Now they're just looking to 5-man hit A. Maybe go for another cat split.
And I might need to recaster Curse Skies because he's now doubled his score from where he started. So
maybe he's just an eco warrior.
Apparently, he is just an early round demon.
Oh, looks like they're going for the A main fight here.
And
the Molly lineup.
Does he have a Molly lineup? Or?
I think that's the one that pushes them. He's going to blind and they'll walk into it in the cubby.
And the spam's just barely not connecting from Kyle there.
Looks like they decided not
Out comes
to
the
molly.
smoke to try and lock down the angle. The molly being used now to try and delay this push and give the other defenders enough time to rotate in. In comes the flash from Dig. The fade eye just to try and find these defenders. The pick going the way of Kyle though. He's good for 3.
The shots are just great from Kyle here.
Make it 4. He wants it. And
Z-Bag!
stealing the ace. Z-Bag, what are we doing, my glorious king? Z-Bag, how could you take that from him?
Z-Bag just... Could we see the scoreboard here? Maybe there's an explanation.
Z-Bag
Z-Bag just looking for the top frag position, I suppose.
He's just trying to keep it from Kyle.
He's
I
thirsting
mean,
Kyle.
That's got to be some kind of bannable offense. That might be sabotaging the team. I don't know.
Maybe he needs a lap.
That might be a lap for Mr. Bag. I'll leave it up to the team.
10 push-ups.
That is tragic that
Looks
it
like-
does get ripped away from Kyle like that.
Looks like they're
But
going
Kyle
for
playing excellently on the round. I mean, the
Mid-split
lack of an
here.
ace does not take away from the impact that he just had on that part of the map, though.
Oh, definitely. I think he was the one who got the KO to the low HP, too.
He certainly was. I mean, he was the only one fighting that A main angle the way that he was from Dice.
Getting stalled out mid here.
And Saf, looking like he wants to take this space, buying ONU a good amount of intel here. So they know that they're not up B main, so they're mid or they're A. So if Kyle can clear out this A space, maybe find, I believe that's Mako.
He does have the bomb.
Out comes the smoke, and MP10s with that flash in hand will be getting suppressed.
If Kyle gets his kill in main, it could be a disaster.
MP10s, his walkthrough here could actually change the course of the round. And unfortunately, the timing is not quite
Unlucky
going his way.
timing.
Doodle V managed to take him out in the process. Z-Bag and Saf left in a 2 versus 5 now. Out comes the dart from Z-Bag. All the way to switch, it will get broken immediately, and it's looking like they're electing to kind of fall a little bit back. Maybe try and find a pick or two, make him drop a rifle. Out comes the knife. Z-Bag deciding to run for his life. Can I just say though, I gotta compliment the Z-Bag drip. The black and red's looking mighty fine on him today. I mean, the Immortal Buddy on the Araxes, plus he's got Reaver Karambit. We could talk about the game, but I gotta talk about the Z drip.
He may have lost the round, but I do believe he won the fashion contest.
He certainly did. I mean, look at the synergy between the two skins.
I do love when the colors are the same.
Gotta love it. I mean, I'm a big fan. And ONU on a bit of a broken buy here. MP10's left with just a Sheriff and heavy shields and some light shields here from some other teammates, and it might be a bit rough for them. Looking like they're splitting on both sides of the map here. Mako just working this mid space a little bit more towards himself here.
They do pick
Saf's
a
turret will buy him some info, though. Sky's going for the orb, just trying to get that ult online. That KJ lockdown is pivotal in some of these rounds, and the smoke to come through to try and keep them even further off this angle. And it's looking like they're going to elect for an A hit here. Does Kyle have something coordinated here, or is he just going to rip this flash on nothing? MP10s, if you get up on this angle, you can get so much value, but not
just doing it to
quite.
stall, I think.
In comes the smoke, a very deep smoke, just to try and do anything here, just delay this push as much as he can. And MP10s, out comes the molly, looking like he'd rather just get detained, just barely making it out there. Him electing for the molly, almost getting him caught, and Kyle taking out Mako. Him in flames now, just storming through this flank. And they need to be pretty diligent about clearing out Scorch here. Scorch to fall.
Oh.
Truman almost good for 2. And MP10's left with a lot to do in a Sheriff in hand. Z-Bag trying his best to back him up. This shot could actually take Doodle V out of the equation. Not quite connecting. 2 players left with slivers of HP. But just Z-Bag not quite given the opportunity he needs to capitalize on it. And this game is getting a bit close.
I was not expecting this many rounds in a row here.
I mean, maybe this map's not defender-sided. Maybe we're just misinformed.
Maybe we're just running a Phoenix. That might be it.
Hey, you put some respect on MP Goat, bro.
Listen, all I'm going to say is I'd like to see some more flash plays from Mitchell here because, honestly, they've had a few rounds where I think if they were fighting A main, they would have just ended it. And it looks like he has the idea.
With the comp that they have, with how aggressive they can be, they need to be dictating these fights.
Yeah.
They need to be taking the space early and fighting for some space.
They're playing much more passive.
We have
than
no
I'd like.
info on mid. We have no info A main. Like, we just need to be getting assertive here.
And now this is just going to be another 5-man retake, and they're on a worse buy here. It's going to be really rough.
Dig to get the bomb down. Skies mollying from logs. MP10's not quite breaking it in time. Getting brought down to 78 HP. The molly to come through, getting Skies out of position. Yet another molly that will not be broken by MP10. Saf, good for 2.
They're winning the retake, though.
I mean, Saf, if nothing else, he is really good with his mechanics. Flames, not quite able to close out anything else, though. MP10's still nothing from him. A flash will connect with Kyle from Mako. And it's looking like Kyle just wants to get some exit frags here. And Doodle V will be the first. Dig will be the second. The upgrade will be saved from Kyle just due to the plant spot. And the 2 Omens last alive, and the scoreboard now all tied up at a 9-9 scoreline. And honestly, I think the fact that we only have just 1 Sentinel, like, we need to have, like, maybe a Senti and a Smoke, and we just need to be aggroing some space here.
Yeah, I think, honestly, a aggro play really anywhere on the map here would just do him some good.
Because we saw how assertive we were being on attack. I think we just need to keep that energy here for defense, because playing as passive as we are, we're just giving up this space, and, well, they can lock down this space just in a much better fashion than we can, especially for post.
And I feel like we've seen in a lot of these fights, we do have some sort of mechanical edge, so we'll spot 2 B main. They're
Good
backing
intro
out.
from Z-Bag there.
Looks like Kyle might get a cat fight here.
Flames good for 1. Sky's taking out Kyle, though, on Cat. MP10's just trying to capitalize on a second kill there. Dig. He's good for 1. Sky's getting taken out, so the molly just not quite getting popped, so MP10's is allowed to stay in his spot there. And it's looking like these players will still be leaning towards the A site. Z-Bag just trying to drone and catch a player here. Try and buy him just any more info that he can get.
Killed my bot. Swarm grenade out.
The swarm grenade for the stall. In comes the smokes. And here comes the A take. The flash through. And Saf sitting in this smoke, just hoping he doesn't get cleared. And Mako will be taken out in the process. Dig, not quite going the way of his teammate, but Z-Bag ready to change that fact. Bringing us up to a 10-9, and I believe that is the 2nd round we have secured in this half.
Yep. And I mean, like you said, it looked like we got just a little more aggressive there at mid. We didn't even have to push out, but we were just taking some more aggro peaks, and that round got swept up pretty fast.
You know, on occasion, Coach knows what he's talking about.
Sometimes. Looks like ONU opting for more of a spread now. Might just go back to what they were doing before. They've moved Impotens over to market and swapped him for Truman over there.
And Dig is just grabbing that ult orb. He's one plant, 1 pick away from getting the null sector online.
I'll find you.
Looks like they might be faking an A hit here.
It's one heck of a fake with the nightfall in hand from Scorch. It might not be a fake. It might just be a straight up A hit, because we're seeing the players rotating in here from the B site.
I don't know if they know that Killjoy moved to A, unless they can hear the turret.
I mean, I wouldn't anticipate it, but who knows? I think Scorch is just waiting on his team to get into position here. Then he's going to rip this nightfall. And this could get a little rough for Saf here. Out comes the Nightfall and the Null Sector. All the util will go down for Saf, who was just electing to sit inside the smoke. The spam through the smoke from Flames on the dig, though, will take him out of the equation. MP10's good for another on a Doodle V and Skies. The kills will be swinging back both ways, though. Mako left alone on the site, and the defenders to clean up right there.
Oh.
An immaculate retake, even with 2 ults coming in. ONU ice cold in that retake right there. Completely undeterred. And that's a bit rough for Simon Fraser there. Committing, I'd say two
of their biggest
probably two of their
site-taking
best
ults.
ults right there.
Yeah.
And getting no value out of it at the end of the day.
And they're not really close to a lockdown, so it's going to be interesting to see how they play this.
I mean, I guess it just depends on how well Skies frags here.
That's true. Looks like they want to take some fast, aggressive fights here.
And honestly, good on MP10s and Kyle. They fell back to logs right there, decided to not stay there, because if they would have stayed, things would have gotten a bit dicey for them. Out comes the Lear, just try and spot out some info for them. In comes the dog, and the flash from MP10s. Unfortunately, the shot's just not quite going his way. The molly to just try and lock out these attackers. And Flames has been working this mid space with that operator in hand. And Dig seems to be a little bit cognizant of it. Flames,
We're getting ready to flash.
the turret, taking the first contact of shot, going the way of Flames. Doodle V managing to get the pick onto Kyle, though, with the Blade Storm.
Doodle V does have the bomb there in mid.
And it's looking like Mako's just trying to lurk up this A space. But does he clear Saf out of wine? Apparently he doesn't. As soon as I say it,
30
I
seconds
think Sam is he's got the stream open or something. Sam's hearing me.
Ooh,
And
Scorch does
MP10's
walk out.
managed to get the pick on a Scorch. That's a good pick to get right there. Taking their info off the table. Doodle V, a lot left to do. And Truman ready to clean him up with that operator in hand.
That's
bringing
match
us
point.
to match point for ONU.
And I'd also like to add, once again, not many great ults here for the attackers. They're one off the lockdown, but ONU does have, I mean, I think their Phoenix ult is possibly one of their best.
I mean, the run it back and the lockdown, like, just buys you so much space. And I think MP10s might have a bit of a fight on his hands with Kyle ready and willing with the Odin to back him up. If this is the plan here, which I think it is, then this could get rough for Simon Fraser depending on how their shots go here. In comes the early spam, whittling down the attackers.
Oh.
MP10's never ripped the ult. He just decided to take the fight. But
They're
look
rushing
at the
Kyle.
health for the side of Simon
But
Fraser.
the damage
He's good
is
for
huge.
one. TPing into Boathouse. Out comes the KJ lockdown. And Kyle trapped in Boathouse here. That smoke in his face. The only thing keeping him alive, he decides to walk into it right at the last second.
Oh.
Again, the damage from Kyle is so good, though.
Saf in a good spot here. Skies is kind of stuck.
Saf just caught a little unaware there, but
Oh,
Doodle V with a really good position.
It's all up to Z-Bag.
In comes the dart. The spams need to be good. He's good for one, and this is still a winnable position for Z-Bag here.
Doodle V on very low HP.
My glorious King Z-Bag. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be him.
But 11 bullets. If he does get to a spray down, it might be a little rough for him.
The shock in hand.
Big
Takes out
damage.
Doodle V. He jumps over the bullet. He knows.
Oh, I don't
No
think he has
time left on
time.
the clock, however. Get yours, King.
Well played from Z-Bag. He does get the kills. Just unfortunately ran out of time there.
And he
Saves
will
the
secure
op,
the op,
too.
though.
That's a very big round for ONU. I don't think they committed any ults to that either. They now have 4 ults online.
4 ults online. I mean,
And they used the lockdown last round on attack.
4 ults online, and Flames managing to hold on to that operator.
That's actually
And
huge.
a broken buy from Simon Fraser.
This could be it. If they don't get scrappy here, I just don't see them winning this round.
And I mean, Saf has this A site completely on lock. with the tree space being completely mollied and the A walkout being held down by that turret. Flames taking an early fight here with that operator in hand.
What is this, Kyle? What is this?
We are TPing
Kyle,
on top
what
of the turret.
is that?
Not
Oh, but the
clearing
trigger
corner,
discipline
though,
from Dig. The trades are huge. And all of a sudden, the numbers are equalized.
The numbers
and
are
Dig gets an
equalized, and,
upgrade.
yeah, Dig getting a free gun there.
We do still have some big ults online.
The jump spot from Z-Bag.
Ooh,
He
Dig,
catches
good for the
Dig,
third.
But Dig catching a crazy flick right there.
And Saf's alone here. He does have his setup in tree, but
I think
This
he's
might be
just
tough
ready
for
to
him.
swing off of it. Because I'm pretty sure these players just lean towards the A hit here.
they have a lot of time to work with. Yeah, it does look like they actually want to go towards B now. They have the Omen ult as well.
I mean, maybe they've realized that Saf in these late rounds has been leaning towards the A site instead of the B. They're now electing to go towards the rotation finally coming in. I don't know, though. Do you elect to save here, or do you just try to win it out? You're on match point.
They do have the lockdown. And all three members here on site, not contesting the front space. They could get the ult on
They
switch,
can get
which
into a good
covers all of
position here. Truman
site.
good for the first. Saf good for the second. The tide turning. Out comes the
Ooh.
KJ lockdown.
But
Player
he has his
Bucko good
ult.
for one. In comes the flash.
And they've swapped positions.
In
And all of a
flames.
sudden, this is anybody's game.
On the
Truman
bomb.
still has the op.
That operator in hand. The swing coming through.
Wow,
and Truman
what a
good for
shot
the
from
shot.
Truman.
And that will be the game, ladies and gentlemen, with ONU winning 13-10 in
Wow.
a 2-0 fashion.
I gotta say, what a absolute clincher of a final round there. Dig, I really thought Dig had won that for his team there.
Dig, that trigger discipline, just letting MP10s get right past him. And I mean, Kyle in a position where his one-way actually perfectly blocked Dig. Just a tragic turn of events for them there. Almost managed to convert that, but not quite in the end. But very, very, very well played for the side of ONU there. I mean,
I gotta say, it almost looked like they had a chance of coming back there. I think ONU kind of figured out what they needed to do at the end there, but this was actually a very, very good game to watch.
I mean, it was a close game to be sure, but I mean,
I
we
think they just
we
never.
got Coach Kyle back at the helm. I was never in doubt.
We've got Kyle at the helm. We had a huge gap at the half. It was just too many obstacles for them to get over.
And I mean, all in all, a very, very well played round from ONU. A great scoreline from them, but I think that's just about all we have for the broadcast. Please do be sure, if you have a Prime sub available, please use it here. It supports the program very, very, very much. And if you don't want to spend money on a sub, it is completely free if you link your Amazon Prime account with your Twitch account. And even just to follow, that's completely free, but you will be notified for all of our future broadcasts. But I think that's just about all we have for you guys this week. We'll catch you guys next week for another round of ECAC.
Shine bright up all night. We're never slowing down. Fall in love, drunk mistakes. We're bound to hit the ground. Gotta keep this feeling, keep